guys, where when we, we've been on TV a couple times, or, we have a record that may chart, or we, whatever the case may be, now all of a sudden we get excited because our record's on CD Baby. We paid our $34.99 and we excited.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the thing,
That came from somewhere else.
but the thing is, guys, what I love about Larry is that no matter what platform he's on, no matter what he does, whenever you see him, Larry is still the same. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen growth in Larry. Seriously. We don't have many serious moments on the show, but this is serious. I've actually seen growth in Larry. Because it's not that Larry, we all go through a stage of maturity. And I've seen that the more that God has actually taken Larry up, it's the more that I've seen a maturity that has grown in Larry. And I'm really, really proud of that. So I'm really, really proud of you, Larry. And I'm excited about everything.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah. I'm excited about everything that God is doing in your life because a lot of people don't know how much you've sown. How much you've sown to ministries and going in and teaching and helping people's choirs and aggregations. See, people just see you and they see SOG and it's like, oh, they sing really, really good. And, they're on America's Got Talent and they're on this and they're on that. But they don't know what you've done behind the scenes. They don't know that when you come home, you still are going and helping and sewing and working with ministries. It's like you don't get home off the road and just sit down and, eat chocolate bonbons on your king size bed. Right. You see what I'm saying? California King. Yeah. Huh?
Get it correct.
But you are working and you're sowing your gift back into other
ministries.
That's
how I was taught. My spiritual father, my spiritual father, Bishop Lloyd David Foster, also Stephen Bennett.
Yes.
How to give more than what you're getting.
Yeah.
And I just learned from the beginning not to expect people to be like I am.
Yeah.
So therefore, the expectation, I tell people all the time, don't expect people to be like you. Because you give, you sow, and you give your time, and you be like, well, they won't give it back to me. Whatever you do, do it unto the Lord, and He will pay.
Right.
And that's what He's been doing. He's been paying.
Literally. Been paying.
So I decided to ride what works.
That's it.
And I love, like we did last night. We did a big benefit for Detroit. Just giving. I ain't asked for a dime. Because it's not all about that. All
can I get one of those?
Sure.
Hey man, we'll talk after the show. Everybody heard that, right? Okay.
But and that's I was always taught to be a servant.
Yeah.
Even when I pastored the church for 12 years.
Yeah.
I was taught to be a servant. Many people are like, why did you give up your church? I said, because I didn't want it no more.
Simple as that.
It's that, and I wasn't ashamed to say, you know what, I need to go be father. So many people are operating in ministry and then that has no guidance, no leadership. You're just a spiritual renegade that's out there. So I wasn't ashamed to say, you know what, let me stop this right here because I have souls in my hand.
That's right.
So I said, you know what, let me stop this right here and go be father, and I'll pick this back up when,
And you know what? That's something I really respected about you because I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times people wait for people to talk about them in the street and instead of being an open book with your own testimony. Oh, no. See, one thing about Larry is we all knew that he gave up pastoring. We all knew why he gave up pastoring. So nobody could sniggle and talk behind the scenes. Right. It was what it was. And it was actually very honorable because there are a lot of people that are out here and they're pastoring churches. And like you said, they really need to be pastored. They really need to be poured into because unfortunately either they had somebody that was leading them that just kind of left them hanging. Right. And so they missed out on that. And see, a lot of times people don't understand that. Even pastors, you need that nurturing.
And see, a lot of people operate in necessity.
Yeah.
Just because I need you there. Just like a lot of churches when we start, maybe not called to be an usher, but I'll usher anyway because we're needed there. Right. But you don't have the spirit to usher.
Ooh, we can talk about that thing later.
So therefore, hey, because since we're the first person that you see when we come in,
yeah,
and and before we even hear the pastor, we turned off. We ain't coming back.
Right.
And you be like, what's going on? Nothing. I'm taking my 5 and going to the island.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm not giving that to
chili
you.
Cheese fries. And the thing is, it was a time where you got to the door and the ushers was handing you tissue for your gum. You walk through the door, they chewing their gum like a cow.
Right.
And blowing a bubble in your face.
Yeah, it's something there. Yeah. It's coming from a place. coming from a place. But I mean, church has changed, and
Yeah.
we're no longer. I mean, it has changed. It has changed tremendous, and that's why we had to be grounded. Had to be grounded in foundation.
And I'm glad. One thing about your music is you.
Why are we so serious on my set? Like,
No, they were serious.
Because I'm proud of you, Larry. Just talk.
I mean, y'all murdered John. I mean, I was ready for that. Like,
We're gonna get
He's still
How you
alive.
got saved?
and I'm like,
still
dang,
in
it got so somber. Like, yeah.
We have so much. We got a lot of. We have a whole nother hour, Larry. I promise you, we're gonna flip the script.
We speaking in tongues.
Right.
Well, I mean, you know,
Like, dang.
I mean, the host went serious on us. He said,
He did. It was
He
everybody.
the one declared the seriousness.
And everybody
He
was
said,
like,
I was genuinely proud of Larry.
and we had to
Follow
follow
suit.
suit.
Yeah.
and that's great leadership, and that's great discipleship. That when the man of God changes, we flow.
Wait.
We
go with
shift.
the
We
ship.
shift.
That's
We
right.
go with the shift.
Come to the Sabbath.
Yeah.
That's a flow right there.
Because he was shifting the atmosphere.
Because somebody needs to see that. That's what I'm very proud of you as well. Excuse my voice.
Oh.
Triumph took it all today, but
Oh, get that Triumph money. I mean, bless God. I'm so good.
my
What?
point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Was that the line?
The point.
Not the
He crossed
pride.
it
He crossed that line.
twice.
It's a place. There's something coming in. It's something coming out of him.
Because I said, why did they have to wait till I start pastoring to start paying these worship leaders like that?
Hey! Is
I
that the
might have
root?
never
Is that the
started a
root?
church.
Is that the
We do
root?
have a Saturday service. So.
Oh, I need that.
We'll talk. You want one of those?
Ain't
girl?
Desmond moving or something? Ain't,
There's a.
I love you, Des. Okay.
My.
He is real.
Boy, go ahead.
See, I can drink some ginger root and be ready for Sunday, huh?
That's what's
Tell you
up.
that right now. All right, so back to our serious interview with Pastor Callahan.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really respect that about you because, you know, you did make that change. And, you know, you had said something about Bishop Bennett, and I want to stop right there because every time I hear his name, you know, I got to honor him. You know, somebody that pastored me for 10 years and just such a great man of God. One thing
Great
about him,
man
he
of God.
really believed in you.
He did, and a lot of things that I'm doing now is because of him. A lot of things of why I'm taking care of business. He told me a few years ago. He was like, "Let's go golfing." I was like, I can't golf." He said, "Well, you're probably broke." I was like,
He was serious, too.
he was serious. He was like, "Well, you probably broke." I was like, "Well, pops, I mean, I don't know how to play." He said, "You had to understand that." Where we make the biggest decision, businessmen make the biggest decision playing golf together. And when I found that out, I started swinging. I don't care how the ball was going. but many things, many contracts that I've secured, you know, just so I thank God for that great man. I mean, and he'll tell me, don't be lazy.
Okay, rewind. He said many contracts and I secured.
I mean, you know, just
Through the years.
through the years. Pastor Todd, Overseer Todd, I'm sorry.
I just passed to one church.
So,
No prophecy.
well, listen, first of all, let me say many congrats to you, all the success that you and your group have had
Thank you so much.
over the years thus far. It's definitely been putting Detroit on the map with some of the success that you guys have had. Tell me, which out of all the things that you've done, had a chance to do, which was the most significant to you?
The one moment that was very significant to me when 2 years ago when Nike, we partnered with Nike,
Yeah.
and they brought us over to the UK.
Ooh.
And I thought that we were just coming to sing a song, but we actually were.
Nike check.
You ever think about the
We actually
UK
did the
check.
halftime. We were actually the halftime performance for
Just do it check.
the Just Do It. The Just
right.
When we went to the UK, Pastor, that was the most, because I've always dreamed. I remember the Lord told me that one day that He was going to take me around the world. And I thought how he was going to do it was I write a popular song and I travel and beat that song all around the world until I couldn't beat it no more. But what happened was, 2010, the Lord took me around the world within 2 minutes and 13 seconds with the Chrysler Super Bowl commercial.
Yes.
And ever since that commercial,
Chrysler check.
Yeah, Chrysler Automotive now. Yeah, Chrysler Automotive.
Check.
FCA. I know because I'm in the clip.
Okay. So I mean, he took. I never knew. But he just blew my mind that within 2 minutes and 13 seconds, because we were the longest commercial that had ever been played on Super Bowl, as well as the most talked about that year, and how it was so funny that the commercial surrounded Marshall Mathers, but then as time went, they phased him out.
Yeah.
And put more emphasis on the choir.
Yeah.
So after that, we came with 4 or 5 commercials after that, and going forward, yeah.
Checks.
That's the residuals. So, yeah, checks. So, checks. Anyway, so going from there, it has opened up many doors around the world, from partnering with Volkswagen, as well as like I say, Nike. So it's a song. If you ever go to American Eagle stores, there's a song that plays all the time in the store that I created for American Eagle. It's all around the world. So I mean, the Lord has opened up so many doors. He took me through the marketplace first, and which is fun.
American Eagle check.
Next time, just take a pause so he can come in.
Right, you just
Right.
So that's I mean, to actually go, like as the Bible said, go into the world, and that's what he has said. As you know, a lot of people have to say, like, sometimes the gospel industry and gospel people the church don't understand, like, because when that commercial first came out, they called us the devil. That we had sold out to the devil.
Wow. So what did they think when y'all was up there singing with CeeLo Green at the Palace?
Oh, I think it's a little better now, man. Man.
Well, I can tell you, is I was rocking to the stairs. You hear me?
I think it's a little better now because sometimes what you don't understand, sometimes you need to ask. Instead of judging it.
I agree.
Instead of just ask. I didn't sell out. Just like. I told everybody when they seen me singing for the announcement for what's the man's name running for president?
Oh,
I don't forget the name.
Donald Trump?
Not him. No.
Oh Lord.
How about the other one?
the African American?
No, Carson.
Carson.
Yeah. How can I forget Carson? I did the music for Ben Carson for his announcement that he made here in Detroit. They was like, "Oh my God, how could you sell out? How could you sell out?" I was like, "No, see, you got the wrong E." I said, "I didn't endorse. This was an engagement."
Yep.
That's
good.
So, and I was hired entertainment. So many doors like that. That's why I just thank God.
Right, LBC. Let's be clear.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
I was hired entertainment. No endorsements.
Now listen, we got to talk about a couple things, and we got to move expeditiously because I want to make sure that we get some things promoted while you're here. Sure. We got to talk about a grand affair that is happening. That's happening on Friday, December 11th at 8 o'clock at Burning Bush.
December 11th, my choir, my wife, has been working tirelessly to put this program together. I know nothing about it. I don't know what's going to happen. All they told me just to come. This is actually working music ministry for 33 years. This is actually my first birthday celebration, appreciation, whatever. I've never had anything. I was just like the groomsman. I was always a groomsman, but never groom, so.
Well, I'm excited. We're gonna have to make sure that we're there, even though we weren't invited. The Ron Todd Show crew. We're gonna make sure that we're in the building. It's so.
Come to my affair.
Of course.
All right, there you go.
All right. So listen, we have to make sure, even though the Jefferson Avenue Spirituals